So guys, it's been a long time since we did a vlog, for a number of reasons. We'll come back to that later. But today
we're all excited.
and we're excited because we're kind of breaking new ground. We're just moving out of Richmond Harbour on the Royal Canal. This is the terminus of the Royal Canal. This is where the Royal Canal meets the River Shannon.
And we're going first time
east.
on the on a canal in 20 years, is it?
Yes, yes. So this will be fun. This will be fun. It'll be a bit of an adventure. There's a big long list of things that could possibly go wrong.
And probably will go wrong.
And there maybe even be things that didn't make the list that may go wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on one engine though.
There's 5 boats going in this weekend. There's, I think 5 went in last weekend, and there's a few more. Hello.
How you doing?
Going in next weekend. So the Fleadh's on the August weekend in Mullingar, and that's what they're calling it, is float to the Fleadh.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll make it.
Ah, we will, I'm sure. So.
Well, you can see on the video.
It's very narrow.
It's very, very narrow.
I would like to meet a boat coming the other direction, but
I'd say the chances are very slim now.
True. This canal was restored over a period of around 25 years. I'm thereabouts. Almost all of it was done by volunteers, the members of the Royal Canal Amenity Group, many of whom we would know and who have passed on in the meantime.
Mick Clinton, Liam Fowler, Shamie Fowler, to name a few.
Exactly. So we are kind of walking in the footsteps of
our peers.
These giants.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is I've both engines running. At the starboard engine's in neutral, and I'm just running the port engine. So I'm trying to keep one propeller in the centre of the river, or centre of the canal I should say, not a river. Other issues that we're going to have is that because it's a canal you have to go very, very slow.
There's a lot of weed as well, isn't there?
There's lots of weed, and there's also, you wouldn't know what debris is on the bottom of a canal. Unfortunately we live in an age where people think it's okay to throw rubbish into canals. And when you see the prop wash out the back of a boat, it's always good to remember that there's an equal suction at the front of a boat. So that's sucking the bottom of the canal in this case, because we don't have that much depth. And if there's, a blanket, a towel, or any old thing like that, you can suck it into the propeller. So we try to go nice and slow. And I'm just watching here, and I can just see the reeds on the side of the canal all bending over, which is an indication that it's shallow and that there's not that much water there. So I'm just slowing her back down again.
I'd say people that are out for a walk today would be fascinated to see
so
obviously
many
there's 5 boats in a convoy.
Yeah,
we're the last boat.
Yeah.
They will be fascinated to see 5 boats. Probably wouldn't have seen a boat on this for months.
Yeah. We took the canopy down earlier on this morning, and because effectively there's not that much air above the boat, and there's not that much water beneath the boat. There are 2 problems. That noise you hear there is just the bow thruster, because I'm just using that now to straighten us up. And you can see the boat up ahead of us is just waiting to go into the lock. We're only just emptying the lock now at the moment. So it looks like it'll be slow. But
very slow day.
So far
we've
the sun
is shining. It's a fabulous day, like.
It's going to be scorching. Yeah, I think I'll put on a long sleeve later on. But yeah, so far no problem with water or weed.
No, we're only out 5 minutes.
I know, but once you're going slow, you generally don't catch too much weed and stuff like that. And at the moment we're static sitting here, so it's just engines ticking over. So just watching the temperature gauges in case they start overheating, because they could suck a bit of weed into the cooling system. And keep an eye on the exhaust, make sure they're still throwing out water.
It's very, very warm. It's beautiful,
isn't it?
Fab.
This is a great day for doing the canal. So we're actually going backwards. See my shadow there? And that's because they're letting the water out of the lock. So it's pretty weedy up ahead of us here.
Yeah.
This is, in a sense, it's our first lock, although yesterday we locked up into Richmond Harbour from the Camden River, so
we've done that a couple of times though.
Yeah,
this is the first lock.
This is our first time going into a new lock on the Royal Canal as such. So yeah, very, very weedy. But no problem, we don't feel it's not rubbing the bottom or anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But would they not have the same amount of water the whole way?
They would, yeah. So the bottom of the canal would be nice and flat, effectively. Yeah. The problem could be that you could get a level that doesn't have much water in it.
Okay, but would they not, knowing that there's a boat rally going in, would they Waterways Ireland not keep the water flowing?
I would like to think so.
Okay.
I'd say it would be, yeah.
Because when we were on the Nevernay in France, do you remember that we were going through 13 locks
I do.
in succession, and then
the ponds or the levels were actually drying out.
Yeah.
We actually ended up sitting on the bottom completely at one stage, and they all went off. All the lock went off in the lunch.
Mungie time.
Mungie.
One day.
Right.
Right. Okay. Here we go.
So this is our first lock now.
Oh, there's a mooring.
There's a jetty
waiting
there nobody
jetty,
used.
I should say, yeah, look.
We could have been using that.
Yeah. I think they're telling you to hurry on.
Oh, they are. Yeah, we're not going to hurry. I'm going to take it slow.
We don't even know whether we're going to fit into the lock with John now.
We will, though, I'd say.
Are we going on the right hand side?
I'd say we'll put our bow up onto the left. John's sort of left or port side, you know.
Alright, so I'll go and do the ropes.
Yeah, you up the bow there, be ready with ropes.
Where are you going to hold it?
Sorry guys, we didn't mean to be that slow.
Well, this will be a trial run.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're going to
We'll have it perfected before we get there.
This will be a trial run. I'm not saying you're going to fail here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The army man reckons you will.
I'll try and get the bow over there up beside John anyway. We'll get in as close as we can. We'll see how it goes.
We'll run with him
Stuff. That's the signal I was looking for. Yep. Well, we're grand. We've loads behind here anyway. Sure, yeah? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You let that knock keep forming right like Where is it? Don't put it there in the middle of the gate.
What's that? All ropes are in, yeah. Lovely stuff. Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, you knocked off that. Guys, thanks very much.
Yeah, see you up above.
We see you at the next one.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Johnson. So there's a lifting bridge here at Begna. That's on the road between
Lanesborough and Longford, I would call it.
Yeah, Tismore, yeah, or Killashee and Longford, really, is it? Yeah. And I've never seen this bridge going up before, so this is nice to see it, you know, and it's a good experience. And you couldn't ask for better weather for it either.
No, and 5 boats to go underneath it is brilliant as well, like, you know.
It is. It is. Royal Canal came into being out of a disagreement among the directors of the Grand Canal. A disgruntled Grand Canal director vowed to build a canal linking Dublin with the River Shannon to rival the Grand Canal. And so, the Royal Canal was born. 232 years ago, the first sod was turned, and construction of this canal began. Machinery was not available, and the first diesel engine wouldn't even be invented for another 100 years. So a large army of labourers toiled with pick and shovel to dig this canal. All along its route, stonemasons worked on cutting the stones for the bridges and the locks. Lime kilns burned on the canal side to manufacture the mortar necessary to hold the masonry together. It seems that those labourers of over 200 years ago were highly skilled. The locks and the bridges they left in their legacy to us are intact and still functioning today. People come here to the Royal Canal to fish, to cycle, to walk the towpaths, or even to navigate by boat. But I wonder how many of them sense the presence of the old ghosts of the canal men. All along the banks there are reminders of a past world, one where barges and bargemen bantered with the lockkeepers and the passers-by as they busied about their day transporting goods across this country.
There's 5 boats together, and we seem to all have hit it off, and we have a bit of fun, and John is sharing the locks with us, and we have great crack. Yeah, it's lovely. So I'm looking forward now to the next 4 weeks, because it's going to be really 4 weeks. Because this weekend we're moving as far as Abbeyshrew, and then the following weekend next weekend we're going to somewhere else, and then I think we hit Mullingar next Sunday week, and then the following weekend is the Fleadh, and then we head back out again.
For people who don't know, what is a Fleadh?
A Fleadh is all traditional Irish music, and there's music in the pubs and on the streets, and well, that's when I was when we used to go to the Fleadh in Ennis, and that's what it was. You'd have all buskers on the streets, and you never know who's going to be there. You could see a lot of famous musicians, and it's just a fabulous atmosphere around when there's a Fleadh.
You often hear us talking about there being some white horses out on the lakes, but here we have some white horses on the Royal Canal. Absolutely glorious, lovely.
It's a low bridge as well, right?
Yes.
Look at the shape of it.
So, we're getting close to our destination now, and we've gone through the very last lock, and we're starting to realise that one of the things about driftwood is our water intake doesn't seem to get blocked too bad, because the pipes that bring in the water to cool the engine, they're about 1.5 inches. There's 2 of them, they're steel and they're straight. There's a stopcock on them but no other connections. And what that means is when you open the weed trap at the top, if there's a blockage further down, that you can push a rod or anything down through it to clear it. And that is important. Oh, look at this, guys, it's so hot today. Oh, that's why I have the white shirt on, so it's burning up in the heat. And yeah, we touched bottom once or twice, never anything bad. We don't think we are actually fouled on it. There's probably bits of weed on the propeller, but not enough weed to make any great odds. And at one point there, we just put the 2 engines into reverse, gave it a bit of rev. Normally that'll throw any bit of weed that's on the propeller off the propeller. And since then we haven't had a bother. The only issue is the water intake. It keeps getting blocked on us, and that's not too bad. At most locks we get in, just open up, clean it out and carry on. But you do find yourself watching the temperature gauges here in the dash all the time, just waiting for to see that needle going up a little bit too high. But no, so far it's been really great. Super weather. Waterways Ireland have been fantastic. That every lock we've come to, there's lock keepers at it, and it's. Do you know what? If you didn't have them guys there, it would be a lot of work. Oh yeah. After much ado at locks and bridges, the 5 boats eventually made their way here to Fleadh, where we discovered a local watering hole that also served good food. The troops dutifully let their hair down and enjoyed good banter, sharing stories of their experience along the canal.
Shadow there, Harry.
Yeah, okay.
Into something.
Yeah, you're very into something, yeah.
Well, you won't get on this, you will.